integration point, anything new within the calendar year. So the competition actually started back in November on Twitter. We asked anyone who's interested in participating in the contest to Twitter pitch us, and then myself and the Cloud Connect Launchpad jury vetted the submissions, selected our 8 favorite, and then those 8 created a 3-minute video, which we hosted on the Cloud Connect site. We asked the community to cast their vote, and the 4 companies here that you're going to see present today had the most votes within that video round. So Launchpad is a little bit of an interesting format. I'm going to ask you to watch 4 demos, and then I'm going to ask you to cast your vote via your mobile phone. So just be mindful of the fact that after the 4th company wraps up, you're going to have to vote. And I'm really excited this year because we're actually going to be making a monetary contribution and donation on behalf of every vote cast for Launchpad to the beneficiary for 2011, donorschoose.org. It's a really cool organization, and they've targeted mid to high poverty level schools, and we're actually, as an event, going to be donating to 3 Bay Area math and science programs. So I'm really excited about that element to 2011. So the folks that are presenting have 5 minutes and 5 minutes only to present. That's why I'm holding this dinosaur. It's a squeaky toy, and I'm going to squeak them off the stage when their 5 minutes are up. So, without further ado, please help me in welcoming Rod Cope and Kim Wines from OpenLogic.
Good morning, everybody. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to show you how the OpenLogic Trial Cloud helps enterprises by providing an instant-on, scalable sandbox to prototype applications and to evaluate new technologies. But first, let's pull back the curtain at one typical enterprise and show you how one intrepid developer named Nigel is facing some challenges.
Once upon a time, in an office park not far away, Nigel, the noble enterprise developer, got an unexpected email from the boss, who charged him with a great quest: prototyping a new web-based customer community application for the marketing department. In just 2 weeks. Though humbled and honored, brave Nigel saw great challenges ahead. And so he steadied himself and went forth. First, he went to the feared IT ops team to get servers allocated and provisioned. But Nigel was told it would take 2 months to get approvals from distant lanes. Even worse, Nigel would first need to visit procurement and get expense approval. Still determined, Nigel went forth to submit a procurement request. But he was told it would take another 3 months to get budgetary approval for the servers he needed immediately. Feeling quite beaten, Nigel returned to his office and worked late into the night filling out the requisite paperwork.
You have to feel for our hero Nigel. Despite his valiant attempts to get stuff done, he's stuck filling out TPS reports and procurement requests. And the ops guys are doing the best they can, but they've got processes to follow and budgets to meet. Ah, the sweet smell of bureaucracy. It really does bring a tear to my eye. At OpenLogic, we have a special place in our hearts for people that just want to get stuff done. So Rod is going to show how the OpenLogic Trial Cloud can help Nigel in his valiant quest.
Thanks, Kim. So here we are looking at the OpenLogic Trial Cloud. We support a variety of clouds, including public, private, PaaS, and IaaS. And in this case, we'll have Nigel select the Amazon public cloud, choose the free trial count option, accept the defaults for the size of VMs, etc. And at this point, he'll be presented with a catalog of options that are public from OpenLogic, various stacks and applications, and also his own private company's stacks and applications if they've created some. In this case, he'll pick the social stack with Drupal, PHP, and MySQL as the foundation for his Fairytale customer community app, and click Next. Now he'll be able to customize the stack by adding his own components and software. So in this case, he'll add the Fairytale customer app, upload the associated files, and launch. And in just a few seconds, we started the process to launch the Amazon public cloud with all its components in his stack. This takes a few minutes on Amazon, so we're going to use the magic of TV here and pull the already baked pie right out of the oven. And there we go. And it's up and running in the public cloud. So now he's got his Fairy Tale customer community app, so he can review the prototype and let marketing check it out, see if that's what they want to go to production with. OpenLogic Trial Cloud also includes a dashboard, and this lets Nigel and the other people in his company see a complete overview of their cloud usage and cloud applications. It can manage budget and control costs, manage SLAs and also compliance with their own corporate policies and open source licenses, and bring up a budget editor to get control of what they're spending on the infrastructure in the cloud. So in this case, he can see that his customer community app is budgeted for $1,000 a month, and both Nigel and his manager will be notified if they might exceed their budget. They'll also be able to automatically monitor and manage the components in the open source stack they deployed to the cloud with the OpenLogic's Trial Cloud monitoring portal. And you'll be able to see what experiences a customer has around support everywhere in the world. And finally, if he has any problems or questions, he can call OpenLogic for SLA support on the Trial Cloud itself, as well as any of the open source components in the stack. And so in just a few minutes, he's up and running with the prototype in a cloud. It's supported, monitored, managed, everything baked right in, budget controlled. And then if he wants to take this prototype into production, he can do that on the same cloud, a different cloud, or even a private cloud in-house.
Thanks, Rod, for that fairy tale ending for Nigel. With a subscription to the OpenLogic Trial Cloud, you get that instant-on scalable sandbox in the cloud for developers across an organization. So we will have a private beta that will be launching soon, and you can sign up at the OpenLogic website at openlogic.com/cloud. And don't forget, vote for Nigel.
Vote for Nigel.
Nice job, Rod. Love the Napoleon Dynamite nod. So next up, we are going to be joined by Russell Rothstein from Optier. Please help me in welcoming him to the stage. Good luck.
Hi, my name is Russell. I'll be giving you a demo today of Cloud First. It does performance management of clouds for the enterprise. Just talk to you about Optier first. Optier is a well-funded company. We've raised over $100 million in venture capital from leading VCs, including Cisco and Morgan Stanley as well. Our customers include Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, USAA, State Farm, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. Who here has been inside a NOC or an IT operations center? Well, even if you haven't, it's a hodgepodge of silo-based tools. You've got the network monitor, the server monitor, the database monitor, the VM monitor, and they're all sort of stitched together. They all have their own user interfaces, their own data stores. It's what we like to call sort of this Franken monitor. Okay, this Franken monitor they've got going on in the IT operations center, and we think we can do better. And in the cloud space, it's become even more important. In cloud, you've got things like multi-tenancy. In the cloud, you've got to deal with VMs that are moving around in a very dynamic fashion. In the cloud, you have to deal with shared services. So these Franken monitors are not going to work for us in a cloud environment. And we see that cloud performance is an important issue. Google, Amazon, Microsoft have all had performance issues, have had outages, illustrating the fact that it's hard to manage performance in the cloud. So it's no wonder that on the enterprise side, that the people who manage IT, who manage enterprise applications, are very concerned about moving their applications to the cloud because of performance and availability. Optier is about ensuring good performance and good availability of those applications as you move them to the cloud. We'll do that through what we call business transaction management. Business transaction management means taking a user transaction, this is a confirmed shipment transaction in an ordering system, and what Optier does is track the flow of that transaction in a multi-tier environment. It tracks all transactions, all tiers, all the time, both in and out of the cloud. So what I'm going to show you here is a demo. It's a live demo, and what we've done is actually move part of the application into the EC2 cloud. And what Cloud First is going to do is actually track the flow of the transaction both in and out of the cloud to be able to determine that there's a performance problem, do problem isolation, do root cause analysis, and show you how to fix the problem in this hybrid environment. Okay, so I'm going to go log into the Cloud First system. And as we see here, this is before we've moved it to EC2, and we see that the service levels are good. The time it takes to do that transaction is actually less than a second. Then, after part of the application has been moved to EC2, we actually see problems start. And this transaction is now taking upwards of 18 seconds on average in order to execute. So what's gone wrong? Let's drill down. We actually see that the problem is with the address validation server that's been moved into EC2. And since it's been moved, that's what's causing the problem. Now you might think, okay, we just need to get a higher instance in EC2, that's going to solve the problem. But we're going to see that's not the problem. It's not a problem of a stronger instance in Amazon. So we drill down, we're actually to see all the transactions, and actually as we go further down, what I'm going to do here is open up the screen, and we can see for this single transaction what's going on across the 20 seconds that it takes for that transaction to complete. And what we see here is there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of calls between the application server and the address validation server. And so what happens when all those tiers were in the data center co-located together, it all worked fine, okay? So it's fine, there's a lot of back and forth. Once you move one of the tiers into the cloud, that's when the problems start to occur. So the network latency times 100 of these back and forths causes significant problems with performance of the application. So what we did, we're actually able to see the problem, isolate it, and to do the root cause analysis within just a few clicks. But it gets better than that. We also provide ability to do planning, and this is really an important part. Which applications should we be putting in the cloud? It's not every application is suited for moving to the cloud. You may have to re-architect it in order to move to the cloud. And so we provide analysis by application, looking at the transaction volumes, the architecture, the performance metrics such as AppDex in order to tell you which are the best applications to move to the cloud. So to summarize what we talked about today, Cloud First provides management for the entire cloud lifecycle from planning and migration, operation and optimization. And Optier is revolutionizing performance management for the journey to the cloud. Thank you very much.
Everyone's been so good under their time. So next up we have folks from Scalebase. They're from Newton, Massachusetts, via Israel. Please help me in welcoming Liron Zelka and Jerome Lavari.
Hi all, let me just start by saying how thrilled I am to be here at the Cloud Connect Launchpad. Well, you want to put on the slides, or are we demoing Amazon Management Console? That looks great. There's always a problem with power. Great. So our solution lets you take your existing database and run it on a public or private cloud environment. So it behaves like any cloud resource should, meaning it should scale and be available in a 100% transparent manner. Move another slide. Move another slide. Thank you. In the next few minutes, we'll see what happens when you rerun the Apache DayTrader demo application on Amazon EC2 with one MySQL server, and what happens when it runs into heavy load. The application runs on Apache Tomcat 6, and we're using LoadStorm for the stress test. Now, our DayTrader application is currently supporting load of around 150 simultaneous users. Nice and easy, response time is well under 250 milliseconds, and customers don't report too many problems with the site. However, our DayTrader was just tech-crunched. Now, everybody just got to test it out. And we just found ourselves facing a load of 500 simultaneous users and counting. And this is what we get. The result is that our average response time just peaked, and roughly 15% of requests received a timeout error, which is not that good. What can you do? There are several solutions. The application itself can scale, and let's say by Amazon EC2 auto-scaling mechanism. But when it comes to the database, no auto-scaling solution can help. You can rewrite your application or move your data to a new database, but that's an incredibly slow and expensive process. Or you can try out Scalebase. Just run a 5-step configuration wizard or a short script and configure your database load balancer to get auto-scaling for your existing database. Now, this is the architecture of the application with Scalebase. there's transparently redundant database servers, and I don't know if you can see it on the slide, but actually they're all Amazon EC2 small instances, okay? So you don't need to pre-order some kind of capacity for it. And you have redundant databases, multiple servers to increase support for heavy load. Everything is now possible with the scale-based database load balancer, and again, in a totally transparent way. So let's switch to the Lodestone console and see what happens to the application. Laurent? The Lodestone console?
Yeah.
Okay, scroll down a bit. Scroll down. More. Okay, and as you can see, we have a very good response time. And at the beginning, we had the errors, but when we switch the application to scale-based, we don't see any errors whatsoever, and the response time is the same or even better. Let's return to the presentation, and that's all nice. But usually, what happens is, one of the database crashes. So what happens now? And I'll let Doron do some magic in the EC2 management console. And live, he will just restart one of the database servers.
Oh, where is the restart? Classic.
Yep.
Okay. Reboot.
So what happens now? Yes. We are rebooting the database live as we speak, and the Lodestone application is still running. Let's go to the console, let's see what happens. And we see that we still have 0% errors. The scale-based database load balancer automatically failed over to the backup server. Let's return to the presentation. All of that was done without changing a single line of code. You can try it out yourself at register at our site for the beta program. And remember, we can give you database scalability, availability, everything in a 100% transparent manner. So thank you. We would love to get your vote. And you can visit us at booth number 207 at the Expo floor. Thank you very much.
Very succinct. Okay, so last but certainly not least, we have two lovely ladies from Ariaka Networks. Please help me in welcoming Sonal Puri and Anu Shatur.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Ariaka, the world's first cloud-based WAN optimization solution. So let's talk about some trends. Ariaka has entered this market because we're talking to enterprises around the world, and what enterprises are doing, as you can see in the business challenges, is more and more enterprises are creating global locations around the world. Along with that, they have a distributed workforce. Companies are trying to take advantage of all the resources that you can find anywhere and everywhere. And along with that, IT has initiatives of centralizing your data and centralizing your applications. So as you can see, both these initiatives are totally at odds with each other. So what is an enterprise to do? You have much lower productivity because of the distributed nature of the enterprise, and you have a much higher cost. Let's see how Ariaka addresses all of this and bridges the gap. What Ariaka does is we offer unlimited elastic bandwidth on our cloud. We offer application acceleration built from the ground up. We offer a global network on which we deliver the solution. And we have My Ariaka, our user interface that gives unlimited visibility across the network to all the enterprises that work with us. In essence, you get LAN-like performance across your WAN. Let's see how we really do it and how it was done before Ariaka came to the table. So this is an old-fashioned enterprise, a traditional enterprise. And the only way that this traditional enterprise could get their locations connected was by putting thousands of boxes at each end of this enterprise and connecting it up using a really expensive MPLS network. The MPLS network takes months to deploy and is extremely costly for the enterprise. 5% of enterprises and branch offices around the world use this solution. 8 million branch offices, 300 boxes deployed. The rest of the world has learned to just live without it. So what does Ariaka do? Ariaka completely changes the game and how we approach this market. We eliminate the entire need for all those appliances you see up there. We also eliminate the need for that expensive MPLS network. And what we do is we replace it with the Ariaka Cloud. The Ariaka Cloud is distributed points of presence around the world on our global network. And what we do is WAN optimization functionality built from the ground up on this platform, a global network on which we deliver this platform, and end-to-end visibility into all an enterprise's locations, the applications that run on those locations, and the performance. So this is the entire Ariaka solution. As you can see, a completely different solution in the way this market is addressed as compared to the way it was addressed in the past. Quick look at the Ariaka global network. So we are around 25 points of presence around the world, as you can see. We have multiple levels of link and provider redundancy on this network. And it's routed around both sides of the world, so you can never have issues with your provider, and Ariaka will still be up and running for you. Let's take a quick look at how enterprises are using this solution today. And these are real-world examples of customers that are on our network today. Revenue customers, no less. So this particular customer, we started working with them. They bought about 40 megabits per second of internet bandwidth in a very remote part of the world in Asia-Pac. They were not able to do the kind of testing that they wanted to do from their US and India locations. What they did was they started talking to us, and because of the way that our network is built and the optimization functionality we provide, they're now able to push more than 20 megs on this pipe, on the 20 meg of subscribed bandwidth, instead of the 40 megs that they were paying for their internet provider. Let's look at the next example. This customer subscribes to us for 2 megabits per second, but as you can see, they're pushing more than 10 megabits per second on our network. So this gives them 5 times the capacity of what they were getting out of, which is pretty phenomenal for any company. So instead of not being able to use your existing link, you're now able to use the link even more than you could in the past. Another example of the kind of compression benefits that you see across the network, we're able to compress this company's data 96%. 96% of data never gets transferred across their WAN, which is pretty incredible. And this is a quick look at our core network. Core network latency, as you can see, is pretty consistent. The edge varies completely. So in quick summary, let's go back and talk about what the industry is saying about it. The industry says that this is a solution that people are waiting for, that analysts have been waiting for the last many, many years, and the first true innovation in the WAN optimization space. Quick summary of the Ariaka advantage. So Ariaka dramatically lowers the cost and complexity associated with WAN optimization for companies of all sizes in all geographies around the world. We are a key enabler for cloud services. So after compute and storage, you have the network in the cloud. All in integrated solution, everything in the cloud. Enhancing enterprise collaboration through really simple and very affordable cloud-based WAN optimization. We were founded in November 2008, and thank you.
Okay guys, please get out your mobile devices. It's time to cast your vote. And again, this is courtesy of the folks at Moses. They have this really cool voting tool. And as you can see behind me, you just simply need to text the name of the company that you'd like to see win to 66937. So go ahead and take a moment to cast your vote. And also don't forget that for every vote cast, we'll be making a donation. Got a little help from Wapner here to assist us with our voting. So yeah, for every vote that you cast, we'll be making a donation to charity to donorschoose.org. So for you folks that are voting at home via live stream, also please get out your mobile device. Your vote definitely counts. And just a few housekeeping items while we're waiting for the votes to tabulate. After this, the show floor is open from 11 to 6. And we have a cocktail reception on the show floor from 4:30 to 6, which is sponsored by the Open Data Center Alliance. So feel free to stop by, grab a beer, and see what the vendors on the floor have been doing and are up to. And I also want to mention that John Hagel will be the opening keynote at the Cloud Industry Summit today at 11:30. John is from the Deloitte Center for the Edge, so definitely something, if you're interested, you should stop by the Cloud Industry Summit. And again, that starts at 11:30. So I believe it looks like we have a winner. Please help me in congratulating Open Logic with Rod and Kim, please come out to the stage. Congratulations, Kim, Rod. So in 140 characters or less, can you tell us how it feels to win the launch-pad competition?
It feels great. I love to say I'm going to Disney World, but I got to write a Union action book, so I got chapters due.
That's probably more than 140 characters, but we're gonna let it go. Congratulations, guys. And thank you all.